Today we have Democratic candidate for Georgia Secretary of State, Miss Cam Ashling. Cam, welcome. First question we have is who are you? And explain to our audience a little bit about yourself and background.
Thank you, Mr. Lee Wong, and I appreciate Georgia Asian Times for taking the time to interview me today. My name is Cam Ashling. I am the Democratic nominee for the Secretary of State office. I am a finance expert, a certified financial planner. I am a small business owner. I am a voting rights advocate and a farmer. And I'm here to defend our democracy, to defend voters statewide, and so that every voter has the equal opportunity to cast their vote and have their vote count.
What are the main goals of your campaign, Cam?
I have a lot of goals, but the top 3 goals I want to do is to improve and protect our vote and maintain our state's sovereignty over our voting system. I want to modernize the Secretary of State office so it functions smoother for people who go there to register their business, big or small. And I also want to improve our licensing division's ability to process licensing in a way that doesn't impair licensee. And as someone who has licenses, I understand that's very valuable, and that is an economic engine for people to maintain and pay their bills. Beyond that, I want to grow Georgia's businesses, to improve our election administration, to improve our business services. I want to run this office like a business. Okay? I want to see the voters and the people who go to this office to register their business or get their licensing done as clients. And so I want to also improve customer service. This office currently has very, very horrible customer service. And so I want to do that for Georgians.
You have never held elected office. Why should Georgia Democrats trust you to run a high-stake election system over more experienced opponents?
Because this job is not it's not a job, it's a stewardship. 2, this is an office with very complex systems, and you want somebody who is a systems operator. I am a builder. I've built organization from the ground. I've run businesses. I have been on the ground through the eyes of voters as they struggle to vote. You want somebody who is not a politician to run this office. And you want a financial expert to run the financial division. There is a security division that is under this office. And beyond just voter protection, there is also investor elderly protection against fraud and scam. I'm practically an expert by trade, the most trained person in money laundering and how people get scammed. And so it's not about, have I ran for elected office before? I could have if I wanted to. I've never wanted to. The only reason why I'm even in this race right now is to win it and straighten everything out so that I can be the Secretary of State office for everybody who can trust me, because I am the most trustworthy person that we have who has done and worked in the nonprofit field. I've spent over 10 years in the nonprofit section, and I know what it is to be fair for everyone.
How will you shield Georgia election certification process from political interference?
I think the first thing is to make it very clear that no matter what your political party is, you should not ever want political interference to be interfering with the election certification process. We have a rule-based, transparent, evidence that is the procedure and process that keeps our election fair. We need to follow those rules and procedures and strengthen them so that this office maintains its integrity so that we can run fair, free, verifiable elections that Georgians can trust. As Secretary of State, I will definitely be working on maintaining and furthering the chain of custody. I want risk limiting audits, public reporting, more transparency, so that no one is questioning the certification process, so that we don't even have this attack on the office. Vote for me, Cam Ashling, and I will do this for us.
Your experience is in Democratic campaign work. How will you run a nonpartisan office that serves all Georgians?
Well, one, I've also worked on Republican elections now and then, and I've also spent 10 plus years in nonprofit work. So it's a natural thing for me to do to be able to put on that hat again to make sure that every Georgian gets their vote counted the way that they voted, and that our system reflect that accurately. That's not a partisan situation. And this office really should be an independent office, okay? And I will push for that when I'm in office to make it a independent, non-politically affiliated office, at the very least the election side of this office. So I ask for Democrats, Republicans, Independent, and everybody who votes to trust me that I am not here to push a political agenda. I'm not a politician, okay? I am a business person, and this office is in the business of clean, fair, indisputable, evidence-based elections, and that's what I will stand for as your Secretary of State.
You have promised a 10% increase in new business registration. Is that a realistic target? And what specific tools does the Secretary of State actually have to achieve it?
The biggest tool the Secretary of State office has is voice. The office has a lot of voice that it's not using, and my ability to advise Georgians on this matter will drive up more business registration. For one, we have an entire population of freelancers who really should register their business. And with that, and then you have to explain to people why do they want to do this, and then make it easy for them to do it, and then show them how to do it, because no one wants to do this if they don't think it benefits them, right? But when you register your business, you start to build equity in that business, even if it's a side business. So we have an entire segment of the population running on a side business, so they should be registered. And then we even have farmers who farm for a generation that's never registered at their farm. They just farm like farmers. They don't care about the business. They're just farmers. They take care of the animal and they do their work and they sell things, but on a cash basis, right? But when you register, you get more benefits out of the government. You get more support for what you're doing, and you can, as a tax conscious business owner, you get more tax deduction. The entire economy is built on making businesses viable, because the government knows that small businesses drive the economy, employ people, produces tax revenue, and when you pass your business to somebody else, if you have a business, you can sell it. It has value. It can store wealth. And these are things I need to say to every Georgian about why you should incorporate or get an LLC or an S-Corp or whatever fits your need. Beyond that, we also have unemployed Georgians, okay? This is where I'm going to get this 100,000 new business registration from, okay? People are already running a side business. They just need to register it. Unemployed Georgians who need to generate and make their own job instead of waiting for somebody else to give them a job. And then people who need more income. You need a side business. And if you're unhappy with your current job, run your business your way, start on the side, and if you grow that to a point where you can leave this job that you don't like, and you want more control of your time, what you do, who you do it with, you can do that through small business ownership. Okay, and young people, all right? If you don't want to work in corporate America and clock in and clock out, and you want to run your own business, you need to then get serious about it and register your business. So who knows, I might actually overachieve in this segment. So I don't think 10% is a really unachievable number. It's actually very realistic, but it takes a Secretary of State who knows what they're talking about in the business realm to push that so that people get it. Okay, it makes complete perfect sense.
Cam, if elected, you will be the first Asian American woman to serve as Georgia Secretary of State. And you'll be overseeing election in a state that has been at the center of some of the most contentious voting rights battles in modern American history. Do you see your identity as an asset or a distraction in this role? And how do you make sure the historic nature of your candidacy doesn't overshadow the day-to-day work of running a fair and functional election system for 8 million registered voters in this great state of Georgia?
You know, Mr. Wong, I intend to be the Secretary of State that is the GOAT of the SOS office, okay? So I believe and I know I'm a huge asset to this state. This is a state that made me, all right? I can cover every segment that this office touches on and manage because I have direct experience in every single segment, from the election system down to the BMD. I mean, I was back there dealing with the DRE machines, and people don't even know what that is. I've been around. I'm a securities professional. I'm a business owner. I'm a startup queen. Okay, I have ran and founded many nonprofits on top of all of this. I am the GOAT of the SOS, and it doesn't matter if I'm going to be the first Asian American or the shortest Asian American to run this office. I'm going to be the best candidate for this position just based on competence and what I've done my entire life. That is my record and how I'm going to be known for this seat. What else can I say? I'm an asset to every community I'm in. I'm an asset wherever I work in my community, and I intend to be an asset for the state that I love, and I will absolutely do what I say I will do.
Well, with that, thank you for your time, and thank you for speaking with us at Georgia Asian Times. Good luck with your campaign.
Thank you. Go to camlovesgeorgia.com. Throw me a few bucks. Volunteer. I appreciate you all.